Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta on what has been a busy morning for earnings. I guess we can call it a mixed morning now after some of the latest results. But where do you want to start, Kriti? Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. We got to start with Palantir. I mean, this is the name, I think, of the morning, the name of the last 24 hours. You're seeing it show up in these markets in a pretty big way. PLTR is your ticker, trading at about $170 a share, higher by 6% in the pre-market. Also your highest volume mover this morning. Now, the reason I'm going on and on about it is because these numbers are pretty huge when you look at kind of what's on the inside. So Palantir reporting sales of up to 48%. That is a massive jump for what is ultimately a data collection and intelligence company. It's also extra important because Palantir has been one of those stocks that has kind of been floating on the AI trade a little bit, but also the Washington trade. They've gotten a lot of defense contracts from the Department of Defense. So a lot of that government spend that has traditionally been allocated to a Boeing, a Lockheed Martin, a Raytheon, etc. Palantir is now officially part of that club because of how much of basically spend they're getting from the government. They've also been pretty big about kind of involving and integrating AI into their business as well. And that has garnered some questions about whether or not their sales, their revenue can kind of live up to the hype. And yesterday's report suggests that it absolutely can. The Wall Street basically saying that they've proven that they have the numbers that shows up for that kind of AI bid or the AI premium in this market. That being said, some of the concern is that some of the visibility is only for 2025 and into 2026, and you don't have that much longevity, but it is enough to move the stock higher by about 6% this morning. So some pretty big moves there for what is now, I think it's fair to say, a pretty decent tech giant this morning. Let's talk about another major stock that's moving markets, and that is Pfizer, PFE. I'm going to start with the positives because I'm feeling positive today. Pfizer shares. I know it's a rarity. PFE is your ticker this morning, trading higher by just shy of 4%. $24 and change is where we're at. Another revenue beat there. We know Pfizer post-COVID has really been trying to diversify some of their income. We also know that with some of the pressure on pharmaceuticals and drug makers around the world, Pfizer is also kind of exposed to some of that concern from Washington when it comes up. At this moment, they are reiterating confidence. They're boosting their 2025 profit estimate. Their adjusted EPS is coming in stronger. Their EPS guidance is coming in stronger, and their second quarter revenue beat. So all in all, some good numbers for Pfizer. PFE, again, is your ticker, higher by about 3.5%. We got to go on the negatives, though. I tried to resist. Here we are. Yeah. Caterpillar is one of your biggest downside movers this morning in the pre-market. CAT is your ticker, down about 4%, trading at about $416 a share. Remember, this is the major kind of global economy bellwether. They make construction equipment. If the economy is doing well, the theory goes that people are building houses and buildings, and therefore you need the equipment for it. And that's where Caterpillar comes in. Now, Caterpillar also has a lot of China exposure as well. So this is one of those stocks that you want to keep an eye on for that kind of read-through. They reported their second quarter profits, though, that missed analyst expectations, slightly lower prices for some of their bulldozers and diggers that they are iconically selling as well. And this is something that they had kind of brought down to basically decrease their price but increase the volume to kind of make their balance sheet work. And it looks like it hasn't really shown up in a positive way when it comes to their earnings. It looks like Caterpillar actively talking about lower margins and, quote, unfavorable price realization from a year earlier. I think that's code for they're having a tough time over at Caterpillar. So CAT, Nathan, is your ticker there, down about 4%.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.